Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Susanna here today, and it is May 10th, which means release day from Elle Studios. Woo! This is my first layout that I am sharing with you. So this is a 12 by 12 layout with a large photo. It is 12 across by 3 inches, maybe, tall. I'm measuring it. It's 4 inches tall. So it is the photo is printed directly onto a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I am working with the May kit. I have chosen the colors, I'm going to say coral, yellow, and gray to work with, to go with the colors in this panoramic photo. So we were at Penha Palace, which is in Sintra, Portugal, and a tour guide kindly offered to take this panoramic picture of the three of us with the palace in the background, and it is just absolutely stunning. Now, a blue sky behind us would have been even better, but you take what you can get. So just to brighten the colors in the photo, I have used a strip of the best paper stack, that coral color up the top there. And then you can see I have layered up some of the labels from the die cuts in the kit. Just to the right of that, I've used some double-sided foam. I am going to add to that in a little bit. So my thought was that I was going to have a very large title between the photo and the space that I'm working down here at the bottom border. I originally wanted, just as the building has gradations in height of things and color, I wanted to mimic that concept down at the bottom of the page, but I didn't want to go all the way across the page. However, what I didn't factor in was that I needed to go all the way across the page, A, for the unity, to tie the top of the page to the bottom of the page, and B, because that was how things were going to fit best unless I overlapped them, which I didn't really want to do, because a lot of the, that journal card, the white journal card there, definitely it has things all around the border, and so there wasn't a lot of room to overlap that. So I have two, I believe they're 2.5 by 2.5 square photos, one of which I want to put into that yellow frame there. So also released today is the photo stamps with a coordinating, or it's called photograph, photograph stamp set, and it has a coordinating metal die. So you can cut out 3 different size frames, a 2-inch square, a 3-inch square, and a 4-inch square, and then you can use the stamps to decorate that if you would, or further embellish that should you desire. I am going to give you a little preview too of a layout that will be on the Elle Studio blog on Friday, where it's all square photos, again, of this Portugal trip, but featuring this stamp set. It is so good. So good, and there's so much you can do with it. I just so happen to have been on a big trip, and so all of my photos that I've used it for are, actually, that's not true. So all of the ones that you are going to see on the blog and here on my YouTube channel so far will be travel photos, but I've used it for much more than that. I've got an Easter layout that I used it for as well. So that is going to be the bottom of the layout there, with 2 other photos of the 3 of us at the palace at different places within the palace. I am trimming this photo down to fit within that particular Polaroid frame there. So that is actually from this month's printables. And so I'm just going to fill that gray space in there. And this is where I decide, yeah, I really do need this to span across the whole width of the page here to coordinate with the photo up top, as well as to not have to overlap things. So that ends up being the foundation of the page. So you can see I have used the 4x6 card on the right hand side, one of the 3x4 printables in the middle there, we'll call it the middle, but it's not really, and then the frame that I have die cut from the metal die on the yellow paper from the best paper stack. So I'm just trying to further embellish it, get a few more of the colors in. This puffy sticker set, you absolutely have to pick this up. So this is the Big Smiles puffy stickers. I absolutely love these cameras, these puffy cameras. They're the perfect height and the perfect contrast with that black for a lot of photos that we tend to take that have a lot of contrast and need that darker contrast for balance elsewhere in the page. So I'm just going to layer these up and create a little cluster, knowing that I am going to journal in that big open space there with my title filling in the gap between the photo up top, that large panoramic photo, and the photo down below. So also available this month are the photograph stickers. Some of them say photograph date, and some of them, I don't have them in front of me, but they're great for just labeling photos. I love Elle Studio labels. I use them a lot. I use them not just for journaling and dates, but also just as design elements as well. So I have all my bits and pieces. Now I am going to break out my stamps and my inks and stamp out the title. So I know that I want, using my large Jane Alphas, to say Pena Palace. And then I know I'm going to use, also released this month, the really cool Jane Alpha Coral tile stickers. That's going to say Sintra. And then I'm going to use the Lizzie Alpha for Portugal, all in different colors. But in the meantime, I want to get a few of these labels in. So this is also released this month, the Travel Tabs stamp. So I've stamped it in black again because I'm looking for a little bit of contrast. And then I've also stamped it in that Distress Ink Campfire, Crackling Campfire. But I don't end up using the Crackling Campfire because I have that red label down below. And while I thought I would create a trio, I was going to put that third one more for the sake of having a trio than that I really thought it served a good purpose there. I love that little heart, that puffy heart from the puffy stickers. That pop of red right there is just perfect. So also released this month that you also need to pick up. I love all the products every month. You have the bright puffy asterisk stickers. I have used those on every single layout that I have created with the product this month, and I think I've already created 6 layouts. One of them is a pocket page. So yes, a definite must-have, possibly even 2 of those. So this is where I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to space out Pena Palace. I'm working backwards because I know I want Palace to end at the end of those tags there, and then I know I will have plenty of room to go across, but that way I can work on the spacing better. And a little tip that I tend to do is I write out the word, you can see on the post-it note, and then I work, if I'm working backwards, that way I get all of the letters and I can spell it so I can see visually the letters in my head because I am a visual person. So I am going to lay those out and I will stamp it, and then I will actually skip ahead and spare you the agony of me lining up letters and stamping. But that is what I'm going to do and how I'm going to get Pena Palace in there for that large, large title. I felt like the panoramic photo there on a travel page really deserved that large title. So there's Pena that's going to go down, and it's just perfect, isn't it? And the contrast is there, and it kind of grounds, it fills in that space and grounds the layout super nicely. So next I'm going to use those Coral Jane Tile Alphas. You can see them on the right hand side. Actually, no, that is not what I'm going to do next. I want to fill in the travel stamp tabs and then that other tab from the kit. So that bottom one says sightseeing and the top one is going to say group selfie. only I guess I'm not going to do that yet. So this is the Lizzie stamp set, released a while ago, but I absolutely love it. And I love that it is a script font that gives slightly different contrast. Again, I'm going to skip through all of that, but I stamp each letter individually because I want the overlap. This is where I use the Coral Alphas that are released today, and I'm going to put in Sintra. So we were at Penha Palace, which is in Sintra, Portugal. And there is a little bit of white space that's going to be left there, but I don't find that it's too much of a gap. You need that. There's so much contrast and color in the photos that you need that white space to just rest your eye on. What I am actually going to do off camera is I'm going to use the Travel Tabs stamp. Actually, is that true? Yes, the Travel Tab stamp. And it's going to say day number, and I'm going to use the numbers to fill in 6 and fill in the stars with red. Again, it fills in that space just a teeny bit, but it also adds that bright red contrast to it. So I will do that off camera once I use these really cool stars. They're kind of like Disney stars in a way. To wrap that up. So I hope I have inspired you to pick up a couple of things from the Elle Studio release today. If you have any questions about any of those products, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you are doing well. Come back again soon, and definitely come back Friday to see what it is that I have done with that stamp set and die. It's a really cool travel page.